Hey guys, I'm going to re-record this butterfly video because it was kind of messed up last time. I may not read everything this time, just make it a little shorter. But this is a nonfiction book about butterflies. So we have our table of contents there. It tells us what's on each page. So this one says, on the move. When animals travel from one region or habitat to another, it is called migration. Animals migrate in search of food or a mate. Migration helps animals survive on Earth. Many animals migrate. The monarch butterfly is one of them. Amazing monarchs. What insect is black and orange and flies the farthest of any on Earth? You guessed it, a monarch butterfly. Monarch butterflies migrate 2,000 to 3,000 miles. They travel to the forests of Mexico from the United States and Canada and back every year. Since butterflies are so small, a mile is much farther for them than for people. A butterfly's 2,800-mile round trip is like a person traveling 275,000 miles. That's like walking around the Earth 11 times. Wow. Mighty big trip. All right, so it shows the routes. So the orange is their travel down, and then the yellow is their travel back up. All the way down the country. So two monarch populations. The western population migrates along the Pacific coast of the United States, and the eastern population migrates on the East Rocky Mountains in the United States and Canada, all the way to Mexico. This book is about the eastern population. It is winter. In the Oyamel forests of Mexico, clusters of butterflies make the trees look orange. There are so many butterflies they could cover 11 football fields. Here, the monarchs rest and wait for spring. It says, antennae give butterflies a sense of smell. In the spring, swarms of newly awakened monarchs cover the trees and fly through the air. Millions of monarchs are ready to leave Mexico. So you can see in that picture, there's tons and tons and tons of butterflies. Right? And there's a joke up here. Why couldn't the butterfly come to the dance? Because it was a mothball. Need to lead. The female monarchs lead the butterflies north from Mexico. Their parents cannot guide them. How they died soon after the eggs were laid. How do these butterflies know where to go? The monarchs know where to go by instinct. Sunlight signals them to migrate. Scientists believe that sunlight also helps guide them, and an instinct is a behavior that animals know to do when they're born. It takes the whole family. Each year, the monarch's migration takes several generations. 3 or 4 generations complete the trip north, but only 1 generation makes the return trip south. That means if you started the journey, your great-great-grandchildren would finish it. How does this work? So a generation is the time it takes for a living thing to grow up and reproduce. The first 3 or 4 generations live 2 to 6 weeks as adult butterflies. During the spring, the first generation hatches in the south. They fly north as far as they can, then they lay eggs and later die. So that's the first generation here. The second generation continues the journey, lays eggs and dies, and the third and sometimes fourth generations hatch through the spring and summer. They finish the journey north. So there's the map that shows, so that's like 4 generations of butterflies have to make the trip back up. At the end of the summer, a special super generation hatches. These butterflies live 6 to 9 months, much longer than the generations before it. In the fall, when it gets colder in the north, the monarchs fly south. They fly all the way back to the Oyamel forest in Mexico. This takes about 2 months. It is a long and dangerous journey. So instead of a few weeks, these ones live a few months. Danger. Predators. Migrating butterflies make a delicious snack for many predators. To keep enemies away, monarchs have built-in protection. Milkweed has toxins in it. When a monarch caterpillar eats milkweed, it makes their skin poisonous. It even tastes bad. This keeps predators away. But some predators can withstand the toxins or feed on monarchs without eating their skin. So a predator is an animal that eats other animals, and a toxin is a poison from a living thing. So some of their predators are praying mantis, fire ants, orioles, which are birds, and spiders. Cold temperatures. Monarchs need warm temperatures to fly. When the temperatures get too low, monarchs will die. Wind and rain. Butterflies flock to the trees for shelter during high winds and rain. They cannot fly during bad weather. And it says, how deadly. A rainstorm with low temperatures killed as many as 250 million monarchs in Mexico in 2002. An estimated 80% of the butterflies died at one of the mountain sanctuaries. So butterflies are very fragile and very small, and they can't survive in harsh weather. Here's another joke. What is the greasiest insect? A butterfly. Tiring travel. Did you know that migrating monarchs can fly up to 30 miles per hour? That's about 3 times faster than we can run. Monarchs usually fly 50 to 100 miles a day when they are migrating, but the farthest recorded monarch travel is 265 miles in one day. Whew, that's tiring just to think about. I'll be going from like Philadelphia to Boston is 250 miles, 270 miles. And scientists learn about monarchs by tracking them. So they put little trackers on them so they can see how far they go. In the winter, monarchs rest from their long journey. They wake in the spring, lay their eggs, and die soon after. When the eggs hatch, a new first generation begins again, and this generation will start the journey north. From egg to butterfly, there are 4 stages in a butterfly's life. Egg, a mother butterfly places her egg on a milkweed leaf. A tiny butterfly egg is the size of a pinhead. It's like smaller than the tip of a pen. This stage lasts 4 days. Hardworking mamas. Females carry up to 400 eggs. And a monarch caterpillar eats its eggshell before starting to eat the milkweed. So there's a close-up of the egg. Stage 2, caterpillar. A tiny caterpillar hatches from the egg. It eats milkweed all day long. In 2 weeks, it grows from less than 1/4 inch to 2 inches long. And then a chrysalis. A caterpillar creates a hard protective coating around itself called a chrysalis. From outside, it appears that nothing is happening, but inside, the caterpillar is transforming into a butterfly. This stage lasts about 10 days. Here's another joke. What does a cat sleep on? A caterpillow. Right? Stage 4, a butterfly. When the chrysalis opens, a butterfly is born. There it is, stretching its wings. Why did John throw the butter out the window? Because he wanted to see a butterfly. Munching monarchs. When monarchs are in the caterpillar stage, they only eat milkweed plants, and they eat a lot. Adult monarchs eat the sweet nectar from many different flowering plants, including milkweed. The nectar gives the butterflies energy to fly. All right, and here's 10 cool things about monarchs. So number 1, they can flap their wings up to 2,000 times a minute. It's pretty cool. Their green chrysalis looks as if it's beaded with gold. So it has like some gold on there. 3, an adult sucks nectar and water through its straw-like tongue called a proboscis. 4, the bright colors warn predators that they are poisonous. 5, when a caterpillar becomes too large for their skin, they shed it and grow a new skin. 6, predators kill 15% of monarchs in Mexico every year. 7, adult females have wider veins in their wings than males. 8, though strong enough to fly 2,000 miles, a butterfly weighs less than a paperclip. 9, a newly hatched butterfly has to wait for its wings to stiffen before it can fly away. And 10, scientists think monarchs have been migrating for thousands of years. Pretty cool. All right, guys. So some of the things I asked last time. What are some things you learned about butterflies? What does migration mean? And then what are the stages of a butterfly's life cycle? All right, bye-bye.